Hello and welcome to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got a game between Destiny and Street. The map is Shakura's Plateau and this is a ZvT. In the top right we do have VPStreet as the blue Terran player, and in the top left we do have Destiny as the red Zerg player. So this should be a super cool match. It was just a ladder game and well, let's see how both players fare. Obviously Shakura's Plateau, an easy to hold natural base because of this really quite narrow ramp and the high ground, and then you really have some interesting stuff. Obviously Destiny will probably be going for this third base just to spread out his hatcheries, preventing Street from taking out a lot in one quick push. Meanwhile, we'll probably see Street take this third base just because then he can put some tanks down, maybe even use some high ground here just to make sure he can hold it. So this should be a really fun game. Obviously everyone knows who Destiny is, Street's quite well known as well, and I'm really hoping this should be a really awesome game. What's been going on? Well, I mean, you may notice sooner rather than later I've been accepted as a partner of TGM. So the gaming network will be basically hosting lots of my games. They will be, well, it'll just be awesomeness. So I'm really excited about that, and I mean, tell all your friends. Not that they would be particularly interested unless they like StarCraft, and if they do like StarCraft then they should be watching my casts, because I like people to watch them. It's that simple. Anyway, we will see here that Street is getting his first refinery down, so we will probably be seeing, well, reactor Hellions almost certainly, unless another gas comes down, just because reactor Hellions is the go-to build. Destiny, on the other hand, he's gone for a 15 hatch because that again is the standard thing you do in a ZvT if you are the Zerg player, and we'll probably see Destiny now up to 16 supply. We'll probably get his spawning pool relatively shortly, just because 16 is when you get your spawning pool as well. So I mean, it kind of makes things a bit predictable, but what can I say? It's the way things are done, and they're done that way for a reason, and they work. So I mean, as I always say, the reason the 16 pool goes down, and a bit of a strange position for the pool, most players tend to build it close to the hatch, but Destiny's just getting it out there. So yeah, the reason you get the pool at 16 is because you can get both queens at once, and the reason you get reactor Hellions is because it gives you map control, prevents creep spread, and also gives you the opportunity to possibly do some damage to your opponent's mineral line. And talking of damage to opponent's mineral line, Destiny, you have a bunker being built in your base, and that is always bad times. Destiny pulling a lot of drones out though in order to try and deal with this, and it will get cancelled though, so doesn't really matter too much there for Street. That SCV still just sitting there, one drone faithfully going to try and deal with it, but there are some marines on the way, and here comes the reactor and factory as well for Street up here, so they'll get switched and the reactor Hellions will be on their way out, and that bunker doesn't actually manage to go down because the creep just spread far enough to prevent it, and really, well, now Street's going to have a bit of a hard time. Destiny pulling a lot of drones in order to deal with this, so while it may look like Street hasn't managed to do any damage, obviously pulling this many drones and that early is quite a lot of mismining time, and can just more than anything else be awkward for Destiny, and it's just going to delay his income for a little while. Getting a spine crawler up, and I mean, this is pretty standard purely because if you do get this spine, you're defended from most early pressure. Hellions, they're going to have a bit more of a tough time in order to deal with it. Now, this queen is out, so is the one in the main, both injecting, so no early creep tumors, no second queen on. Actually, there is the third queen, so a third queen is on the way. These queens here now just blocking off the ramp, preventing any Hellions from going up. And actually, in terms of Hellions, are there any on the field yet? No, there aren't. The first two are just coming out, so obviously Destiny scouted it somehow with that Overlord, and well, this is a really nice wall off. Basically, this evolution chamber means that Hellions will have to come around the back here, the Queen's completing it, and generally it just really prevents the Hellions from doing too much too soon. The only downside, of course, is it's literally funneling those Hellions in towards this mineral line, so could see some toasted drones unless Destiny does play this really well, but he's got that third queen out there, and that would be amazingly helpful in holding off these Hellions. The first two are out, and two more are on the way over, so that will be 4. Another evolution chamber coming down. Now I think two queens can actually block off this if Destiny is careful, and that would be very helpful. That creep tumor does manage to finish, and that as well will be extremely useful in defending these Hellions, because it means the Queens will be faster and can be more forward. So great work there. This Zergling coming in just to scout. We'll see that VPStreet has got his own natural base down, and really Destiny now will be looking to try and take his third base as soon as he can, because you don't want to be equal bases as a Zerg to either a Protoss or a Terran. And I mean, if we just take a look here, Destiny, he's on 3 gas, he's getting his speed up. We'll probably see Lair come out pretty soon as well. He does have the gas word. He may actually get some upgrades. There's just lots he can do. He's setting up looking like he wants to be getting double upgrades, so we'll probably see that out relatively soon. 6 Hellions here, and to be honest, that can be pretty scary, because you can lose 2 and still one-shot drones with 4. So I mean, something that Destiny doesn't want to watch out for, but I love his wall-off position. Those 2 Queens can move there and completely stop the Hellions going in at all. Really nice SimCity there. Meanwhile, we will see the VPStreet. Well, I mean, he's got bunker, he's got this wall-off pretty much completing. What's going on in his main? Well, he's still just pumping out lots of Hellions, and this could actually be a bit of a Hellion Marauder push, and that would be very effective. Very difficult for Zerg players to deal with that Hellion Marauders. And now this Spine Crawler just moving forward. And the only problem with moving this Spine forward is obviously you can't get that wall off just as well, but a lot of Zerglings are on the way. Speed is nearly finished up, and here comes the push, and wow, that is a lot of Hellions, and with only Zerglings, Destiny is going to have a tough time dealing with this. His Baning Nest will not be finished in time, and actually VPStreet just going to go and check out that third base, getting a scan off, and now Destiny's going to see exactly what is coming. And he hasn't quite yet seen these Marauders, but we'll see them in there now. And obviously those Marauders are going to make short work of the Spine Crawler, and those Hellions will make short work of the Zerglings. And here we go, a big engagement going on. Just look at the amount of damage those Hellions do to all of those Zerglings, and everything is now exposed. That entire drone line could be about to get a lot of problems, and Destiny just flooding with more Zerglings. But will it be able to do anything? Holding positions on those drones just to try and keep them spread out to prevent the lineup. There's just so many Hellions. How effective can Zerglings even be with that many Hellions? Well, not very is the answer. All of Destiny's drones are now being pulled, and I mean, there's just been huge damage. The Zerglings are managing to get around on those Hellions, and it does actually look like Destiny has held this off, but at what cost? Well, 26 drones killed by VPStreet, and if we take a look at the count, it's 23 to 45. Destiny is in a terrible position here. A really like god-awful position. There's no other way of saying it. And Street, well, he's got 2 bases up, he's got siege mode half done, he's got his starport on the way, he's even got his third base coming out. So to be honest, Street is in a very comfortable spot. The only thing going really in Destiny's favour is he does have 1-1 done. Meanwhile, there are no upgrades at all for Street. He hasn't even started any yet. Stim is done, Combat Shield is on the way, and an Infestation Pit just finished now for Destiny. Pathogen Glands are coming out. Now, really, Destiny has to be careful, because what can he do? He's really behind on drones, like insanely behind, and he just doesn't have the income in order to support all this. Getting that Overlord speed, and that's a bit of a questionable upgrade at this point. Yes, Overlord speed is very good. Yes, it will allow him to scout out, but frankly, Destiny is just so far behind in terms of workers that he needs all of his minerals to go into spending his lava, because if we actually take a look, he's got 7 lava stocked up, and at this stage of the game it's not great. Some Hellions getting picked off now by those Zerglings, which is nice work. You want to pick off as many Hellions as you can, and really that was a nice little engagement there by Destiny, getting what he wants. But the food count says it all. VPStreet 92, Destiny 58, so just over 30 food ahead there for Street. And really, what is Destiny going to do? He's spreading out these Overlords amazingly well, but obviously that's just getting him scouting information, and what he really needs is just more workers, because he is leveling it up, but he's still 17 workers behind Street, and I mean a whole base, because this orbital command is finished. It can start dropping down the mules, and it can float down here whenever it does choose. These Zerglings moving forward, looking like they want to try and do some damage. They will be able to pick off those Marines if he is careful, but just look at this army. That is, it may not look like much, but for what Destiny has at the moment, that is huge. Running these Infestors in, and those Infestors could do a lot against clumped up Marines. Fungal growth is insanely good, But what he just has to be careful of is that he doesn't lose, because that could easily happen. A couple more infestors are there as well, so this could be quite good. One fungal growth does manage to go off. A second fungal growth is on the way. Doesn't actually manage to kill any marines though, and that is not a good position for Destiny. He's got a couple of units. He will be able to pick off those marines, and some do stay alive. Those fungal growths just weren't perfect, and this could be a big problem now for Destiny. He's lost a couple of infestors. He's used the energy on the remaining ones. He does have 3 there, but just look at these tanks. The tank marine ball moving up to take out this hatchery. Meanwhile, we will see VPStreet is taking his 3rd base, and a great move by Destiny there, picking off those 2 tanks and just reburrowing. Great use of burrow micro with those infestors. And Destiny looking like he should actually just be able to deal with this, and just chucking down those infested Terrans there. Wants to take out that base though, and will force the cancel, so that is more than annoying for Destiny, and could really be the nail in the coffin, because really, without much more, he's going to have difficulties. A great fungal growth goes off there, and Destiny will clean that up. But look, another push almost of identical size coming straight back in following this up, and well, the infestors have essentially no energy. There's just a handful of zerglings and infested Terrans being thrown out, but Destiny is not in a good spot. A great scan just to try and pick off those infestors, won't be able to though, and well, we will see here Street is in a dominating position. In terms of tech, well, he's got +1 infantry attack done, no attack upgrade for vehicles, got +1 infantry armor on the way. Meanwhile, Destiny does have 2-2. That base is down. There is nothing you can do about that. Destiny has got the 2-2 upgrades for his Zerglings, has got Hive on the way. And let's just take a look at the work account. Well, 72 to 44. That is not a pretty sight, and well, in all honesty, Destiny will have to do something amazing if he wants any chance. Trying to do a bit of a Zergling run by down here. Does manage to pick up a few things, and I mean, that just says it all. The work account, 27 killed to 5. So Destiny is, I don't want to say out of this, he could still come back, but he's going to have to do something amazing. Those siege tanks have an amazing position, and all while Destiny is held on 2 bases, while, well, Street is on 3, he's got major problems. Being on equal bases with the Terran is bad enough. Being a base behind is just diabolical. Good lob of infested Terrans there though, and the Zergling comes streaming in, will pick off those tanks insanely quickly. Destiny yet again does clear it up. That was a very nice move, but these pushes are just relentless, and Street just keeps moving forward with them. Adrenal glands and 3-3 on the way now for Destiny, but 2-2 is firmly on its way out for Street. About a quarter done already, and well, this is going to be some pretty tough defense for Destiny. That fungal growth wasn't really on the money, only got a couple of marines. He needs to get more if he wants any chance of doing that. There are quite a few infestors burrowed up in the top. These Zerglings are just getting pinned back in a corner, and the tanks have been allowed to siege up. And really, what can Destiny do here? Well, he's just trying to bait these marines back, and one of these infestors has enough energy for a fungal growth, and a fungal growth would be brilliant. A great lob of infested Terrans just to try and deal with this tank. One tank will get sniped down, will take some of the fire, and that was a lovely little move there by Destiny. A big fungal growth needs to go off, and that is exactly what it does. And I mean, that fungal growth could really help this defense, but still, it looks like Street just has too much stuff at the moment, and Destiny just isn't really doing enough to kill it off. He's having to spend an incredible amount of money in order to deal with any of this. Got the Zerglings in a great run by though, does manage to pick off the tank, and now these Marines could be in problems now, and once 3-3 and Adrenal Glands is done, these Zerglings will suddenly become very scary, and we will see just, well, Destiny is only just starting his 3rd base again now, and that is the real problem, is that Destiny is going to run out of money shortly. His main base nearly mined out. He's only got a bit left there. Meanwhile, we will see that actually Street, he's getting his 4th base up. So his 4th base is up actually. It's not even a case of getting it up. It is there. It is ready, and that is major problems for Destiny. He is now effectively 2 bases behind Street. And what has he got to deal with it? Well, he's got some units up here to deal with this drop that is coming in, and that is good positioning. The fungal growth does go off, and I mean, is he going to chain fungal? Yes, he will. So that was a nice little pick off there by Destiny, but obviously he's still got the issue that, well, Street, he's just got so many more workers. Destiny on 40 drones, which isn't really enough, just frankly at the 20-minute mark. But what I will say for Destiny is he has done an amazing defense, like purely brilliant, and that is really what's keeping him in this game. But the longer this game goes on, the worse it is for Destiny, because he just doesn't have the income. Look at the income tab. I mean, essentially it's nearly double for the mineral income for Street compared to Destiny, and well, this push is suddenly starting to look very, very scary. There was a lot of infestors there for Destiny, which is good. He's managing his resources very, very well. Infestors obviously very gas heavy, and obviously 3-3 is now done, as well as the adrenal glands upgrade, and only 2-2 finished and no upgrades for the tanks. So those tanks aren't going to be very strong against this massive Ling Ball. But obviously Destiny's going to have to do a lot. Moving forward, we'll get a fungal growth off, getting those Zerglings running in, and any free pick-off of units is more than good enough for Destiny at this stage. And Street, well, he's getting to the point where he can just A-move. He's just got so much more stuff. He's 60-ish food ahead of Destiny, and Destiny's only just got his third base up, but that third base will be essential. Destiny even trying to get up his greatest fire, getting a wave of drones in and getting a lot of Zerglings, and this is just going to be really, really tough to deal with for Destiny. Just look at the amount of stuff, pure stuff that Street has. He's just got a lot of tanks. They're spread out nicely. The marine numbers are actually not looking that great though. 40 Marines are around, but where are they all? They are all just coming in. Here comes the Marine train, keeping quite a few units back to prevent Zergling counterattacks. And, well, Street is having not very good cost-effective engagements, but he doesn't have to worry about that. He's still a base up, even though Destiny is now taking his third. And, well, Street, he's just methodically moving forward. Those tanks do get a good siege. Those Zerglings taking heavy, heavy fire, and will be forced back yet again. And a nice barrier on those infestors, but if a scan goes off, then he could have major problems, just launching so many infested Terrans there. And what can be done? Well, the Zerglings can run in and try and get around on the tanks. Huge damage being done by those Zerglings. The infested Terrans are going to be able to pick off a couple of units, but, I mean, this is not looking good at all for Destiny. I do feel it is just a matter of time before he will be out of this, purely because of the exceptional production capability and income of Street. Like, just look at the map. Look at all those blue dots marching their way across. Look at such a good siege position Street has. He's creeping his way over to that third base, but obviously Destiny does have some Broodlords up now, and I mean, this could do a lot. Street really now has to go for it, because those Broodlords, well, they can do an awful lot, and they could be very, very difficult to deal with, especially with so many infestors there. The Marines can't clump up. If the tanks stay siege, they will just get killed. So what can Street do? Well, he's going to have to get a scan off to see exactly what is going down. He's got to do something, trying to move up into this third base. Does manage to get up there, and if he picks off all of these drones, or even gets a snipe off on that hatchery, it would be very, very effective. A great scan goes off there, and the Broodlords are just making short work of the tanks. Some infested Terrans are thrown down. A lot of infestors are taken out there, and Street, well, he's still got a bit of a problem in the term of these Broodlords are causing him issues, because he can't just move forward because there's so many infestors with the fungal growths. But some Thors are coming out now, 3-3 on the way as well for Street. Destiny getting the neural parasite upgrade, but just look at the amount of stuff. Well, Street nearly a double the supply of Destiny, not quite, but actually not doing very well at all at the moment. Is trying to run forward just to pick up some of these Broodlords. A lot of infestors going down. All of the infestors, all but one, just burrows in time, and I mean, that was nice, because obviously Street, while he didn't manage to kill off any of those Broodlords, which are causing him a nightmare, he did pick off all of the infestors. So that really leaves Destiny with 3, 2 more on the way. But the lack of fungal growth will mean the Marines can just move in. The Vikings are now in play as well to try and deal with those Broodlords, and that Corruptor gets taken out near instantly. And what can Destiny do? Now there's Vikings on the field, those Marines running forward as well. The first Broodlord goes down. If the second Broodlord goes, then it's pretty much all over, because Destiny, he just doesn't have the money. He's got a lot of gas but no minerals. All the Broodlords are now down, and really, well, VP was a real time at one point, wasn't it? Well, anyway, we will see the VP is just pretty much moving forward. Street, he's got a good position here, and well, that's a that's a big BM by Destiny there. I wouldn't exactly call it a all-in that Street did. He had his natural base up as well. It was kind of an aggressive play, but it worked. So anyway, that was a bit of a fun game. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe to my YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up, and please follow me on Twitter and all that shenanigans. Thank you very much, and tune in again. Bye for now.